Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to the program. Today, we're rocking some Japanese baseball. That huge sigh of relief and the large amounts of smug you may have detected coming out of Southeast Michigan on Sunday. Well, that was the collective exhale and the statement of fact that the Detroit Lions did not need Ben Johnson anyway. Right? If you enjoy this sort of, stupid sports banter, please go ahead, like, subscribe, share. You know how that works. When Vegas placed the Lions win total at 10.5 for the 2025 season, well, Detroit fans, they kind of lost it. And it wasn't a crazy prediction. Detroit lost both coordinators. Their defense went through the shredder. The Packers got better. The Eagles got better. The Lions' schedule, well, that just got tougher. And, of course, in the face of adversity, Lions fans did what fans do all over. They poured themselves a nice cold drink and took that long, slow boat ride down River Denial. Beautiful ride, by the way. Ben Johnson, we were often told, was kind of overrated. Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator at the time, kind of got a pass for the most part, but now Ben Johnson. It seems that the most sought-after assistant coach in football was just a beneficiary of a great coach and some very good players. Well, at least that second part is true. Dan Campbell is a great coach, no question. And the players, they're a lot like Campbell. They're determined, they're cocky, and they're talented as all hell. The Ben Johnson is overrated. Well, that was bullshit from day one. But that win over Chicago, I think it was important. It was therapeutic for fans, and I think for the players themselves. That debacle in Green Bay, Detroit needed to feel good about itself. And even the FU Ben Johnson fans at Ford Field, they had to admit that coming into the season, there were several areas of concern. And every one of those concerns you saw live when they played the Packers. But against Chicago, at least after the first quarter, it was the Detroit versus everyone Lions all over again. They chewed up yardage in the passing game and on the ground. Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown again looked like one of the best passing combos in the NFL. And the defense eventually started hitting the quarterback, and that might have been the best feeling of the entire evening or afternoon. It was fun, no question about it, but I ain't popping bottles just yet, friends. Any win in the NFL is a good win, but this was Chicago, and the Bears are awful. They're probably going to get worse. Detroit was favored by 7, and I do hope that you bet the over because Detroit rolled the Bears 52-21. But as Dan Campbell likes to say, there are things the Lions do need to clean up, both the players and the coaching staff. Now, the offensive line, huge improvements, huge upgrades across the board. But it did seem that Chicago was comfortable playing, Detroit's remodeled front five pretty straight up with few stunts, few switches, and other, and very few other defensive dance moves. They just, seem to play it pretty straight. And those improvements will be needed Monday night versus the Baltimore Ravens. Good news for Detroit. Edge rusher Kyle Van Noy, the Ravens Pro Bowler, ain't playing. Not for a few games. Hamstring injury. Lions fans, should you feel bad for the young man? Hell no. Ain't how it works. And of course, just as the offensive line needs to keep getting better, the defense really has to pick it up as well. Now, I don't know if Detroit was too concerned about keeping Caleb Williams in the box, but the Lions didn't get a sack until 9:29 remaining in the third quarter, which by that time, Detroit was already leading 31-14. The 4 sacks overall, great, no question about it, but getting those sacks in garbage time, it's just not good enough. Lions have to figure out a way to improve that pass rush. And speaking of the Lions pass rush. And look, I get it. NFL teams, they don't like pulling starters early. But really, for the coaching staff, what the hell was Marcus Davenport doing out there after apparently hurting his shoulder on that first sack of the game. I think later on he also hurt his foot or something, right? Now, I understand that Dan Campbell and Lions general manager Brad Holmes, they have a lot of confidence in Davenport. Great. Davenport has a lot of talent. But he has also had a career of almost not having a career due to injuries. The last 2 years, he's only played 6 games. And right now, Detroit just does not have the D-line depth to overplay players. You have to be careful in that situation. You can't risk key players during the meaningless minutes of a football game. It just doesn't make any sense. Got to be more careful with a player as important and historically fragile as Marcus Davenport. And this one, it's to the coaching staff on behalf of the fans. For the sanity of the insane, can you please get Isaac Tessla a few more touches? I mean, 2 targets and 2 OBJ-style catches is just not enough for a player that fans are already trying to compare to Megatron. Yeah, I know it's a stupid comparison. But again, if for no other reason than the mental health of the fans, can you please just toss them a few extra bones now? It's just going to make the paying your customers happy. That's all. And plus, I think the guy deserves it for playing lights out. Look, that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Hell, let me know if I'm full of shit. We'll see you again next time. Take care, my friends.